mean, it's big enough to give you everything you want. It is big enough to take away everything you have.
Welcome to the Spearhead Transmission.
With your hosts, m4a and Michael Ray.
This is Spearhead Transmission.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Spearhead Transmission. It's July 24th, 2018. It's time to break those chains. Water that tree. So it's, did I say July?
You may have.
January.
It's not July.
It's not July. It is
Not
warm
July
outside.
24th.
It's warm out. Oh, it cracks me up, man. January or February in Oklahoma, there's always like these few warm days that pop up in there, right? And
Crazy ass extremes.
And then people say like, winter's over. Like, dude, winter just started. Winter started in fucking December. It's not over yet.
But-
like, it'll get cold again.
But it doesn't last. Like it does this weird thing, right? It'll be like, okay, winter will last for like 2 months. You know what I mean?
Are we live on YouTube?
Yeah, we're live. We're live.
I can't find it.
Oh, well, I mean, it should be live.
Oh, okay. What were we saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying it lasts for like 2 months, right? So when people say that, like, oh, winter started, right? Like,
Yeah.
I grew up where winter started and it's like 7 months later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in South Dakota.
South Dakota and the Black Hills, right? But so whenever winter starts, you're like, there's no like 65-degree days in the in the winter there, or there wasn't. I don't know about now. Like it's different. It's not near as much snow.
It's global warming, man.
Oh, see, the thing is
Do you
like,
believe global warming?
no, I believe in climate change. I don't believe in man-made climate change. I believe that climate change exists and has existed for
Forever?
for however long the Earth is. How the fuck did T-Rexes live in Canada? Right?
It was the amount of carbon monoxide in the atmosphere that warmed up the Earth back then.
Whatever.
T-Rex drove a Corvette.
That's what it was.
carbureted. Yeah,
Heavily carbureted. He rode 4-barrel. Open that bitch up. Miss Cleo. Mrs. Cleo.
Miss Cleo.
No,
I like.
that's Mrs. Cleo now. Is
Is she married?
Apparently to creative accidents.
My CPU is a no-net processor, a learning computer. All right, John. So this past weekend was the Pawnee Run and Gun. We usually have those guys on the podcast prior to that run and do a little interview, but we didn't do it this year. Or 6 months, this
I skipped.
half year. Yeah, you skipped out. It's a good time. It was the weather was nice. It was like summer or winter was over, so it was warmish. It's a weird day, man. It was like
When you ran, the day you ran?
No, like the day I RO'd, like I started out in the morning with a ton of clothes on. The clouds would cover and it'd be freezing, and then I started running that stage, and I'd get hot. Took a jacket off. I'd be cold. Put the jacket back on. Hot, like
one of those.
Yeah,
Can't
just-
get right.
It reminds me of walking home from school as a kid. You have a sweater, you're like sweating your ass off, and like, God, you're wrestling with your friends in people's yards, there's grass all over you. You pull your sweater off, and you're freezing cold. Yeah, but it was a good time. It was in remembrance of Al's son that passed away this previous July during that run and gun. So it was things like that. When things like that happen, it's sad, is it makes you think, like it makes you realize life is
Valuable.
Yeah, like it's not
something
like you got multiple chances to do things, right?
You're right.
Like I read an article by a girl that she died of like this real weird cancer. And she wrote this big long post on Facebook that she asked her family to post after she died, and she's like, I start thinking about like the Christmases with my family, and instead of buying things, if I could just have more time with my husband or whoever, or fiance, I can't remember, but it's a lot of us like take like advantage, don't think like you could be gone at any time. You know, it's me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
It's one of those things where you get used to the normal, right? And
Yeah.
you don't think about the abnormal, which death, even though it's not abnormal for us to die, we all do it, but it's abnormal for us for our daily life, right? So,
but it was, it was a good, I think, a good thing in honor of his son to have that grand challenge.
Yeah.
And it was a good race, good course. I shot all right. There's some things I figured out on that I want to work on, which is one, I'm going to shoot more pistol because I need to become more proficient at it. And two is I'm going to start shooting 9mm because I needed someone to throw me a mag, and no one shot what I had in my magazine. So if I'm running around in the field with all you guys,
that's right.
I said,
That's a good point.
hey man, throw me some ammo. You
need
felt
to be
me
universal.
like, it's fucking wrong ammunition, man. Like you're the only one shooting that shit. So
See you later.
yeah, so I'm changing to 9mm, I guess.
That's a pretty good point. Like I think that Garrett and I used to talk about that whenever, like probably like 5, 7, maybe 8 years ago, and that was it. Like, hey, what pistol are you shooting? What kind of rifle are you shooting? Oh, even though we just kind of role played that out, they would be like, okay, need to make sure that everything's kind of interchangeable and universal. Is it going to be a Glock? Okay, I'll shoot a Glock, and we have Glock magazines that are compatible. Oh,
Well, I mean,
AR-15, it's compatible. It's just, it makes sense. It makes sense for...
That's why the militaries do it,
Right.
you know? It's not like everyone's walking around like, well, I like the FNFAL, or I like the, HKG3, or I like this, people need to be able to, like, hey, dude, throw me an extra mag. Here you go,
I always wonder that. I think about that when I see people out there running with all that, their stuff, right? Their wacky...
Well, a lot of people
choices.
they'll choose, they'll get stuck on, like, all the
exotic,
British
weird shit.
303 round is the perfect round for this and that. Like, dude,
For what, though?
yeah, if shit hits the fan or whatever, it happens, and you need, you're going to a special bullets or round store. Like, I need a case of, like 8mm, Czechoslovakian whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, there's a pile of AR-15s over here in the street, half burned.
Yeah.
Pull the mags out of those.
So,
Hey, there's some 9mm Glocks.
so maybe what it is like they think like this. Here's the idea. They think like, well, how many gunfights am I actually going to get into, right?
Yeah.
Maybe none. But I don't think that you realize what you'll be using that rifle for. Not only will it be for defending yourself, you probably use it less to shoot at, like we're talking about in the world, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
So you're using it less to fight off lunatics, more for shooting
Deer.
things to eat, things like
Beavers.
that, right? But whenever it does come down to it, right? And
You need to replenish
You need-
your
yeah.
supply. That's what I mean, man. It's like,
I would think that you'd want some commonality with each other and something that's pretty easy to find. Exactly, so I don't know.
hey, man, I really want to eat some beaver, but
I
I'm
love
out of
eating beaver.
I'm out of ammunition. Well, you're fucking shooting a
Yeah,
Dragunov sniper rifle.
336 Lapua.
Yeah. Well, you guys, it shoots flat, man.
Yeah,
It
flat
doesn't
out
shoot,
to
doesn't
out
shoot
to
it.
2,000.
Doesn't shoot shit when you don't have ammunition. That was a good time, and like I said, like changing to 9mm, it's gonna shoot the same as all my friends, and I'm gonna shoot pistol more. So my running was good, but I do want
ran
to.
the best,
Yeah, I got first place
the
in the run.
fastest.
Don't wanna.
Which that's pretty impressive because I haven't been able to run with you. So your training has
2.09 miles a day at lunch, and then lifting weights. It's that 0.09.
uh-huh.
I think those when we used to run before. I don't think it was very far at all.
It was. We measured it when we would run
Doesn't
at the
seem
other
like it,
gym.
right? Yeah. I missed that little course we'd run.
I do too. I miss going over there and doing those,
Throwing those rocks
yeah,
around.
throwing those stones,
Yeah.
and then doing, because it was a creative workout, right? Like you're still getting a
different.
workout.
Yeah.
The last 2-3 weeks, mine have been just garbage.
I've been getting worn out too. But anyway, I want to go through this. So, 20K winner was Shane Davis. Second place for the 20K, which I don't like. They never announced the second and third place. Kind of bothers me. Is Nick Reeves, and third place was Matt Sipes.
It bothers me that I didn't get,
because my name would be up
last
there.
time.
Yeah.
Why don't they do that?
I don't know. So 10K winner was first place. Rusty Trumbull, second place. Mike Austin, third place was Shane Davis. So Shane walked out there with 2 trophies. That was 10K. And then the 5K, of course, our first place winner went to
The judge.
And then the second one went to
The judge busted my balls, right? That's who it was.
Mike Wilda, third place. Jerry Alvord. And then this lady that came from North Carolina, I can't remember her name. Kelly Anderson won the Garand Challenge, which is pretty cool. She's a pretty good shot with the Garand. Giant chunk of wood. Fucking crazy ass.
It's like the way that they used to make guitars back in the day. Take a 2x4 and put like piano strings on it. So Garand is basically they just take a 2x4 and put a cannon on it. All right, shoot this.
Yeah. I don't have a Garand. It looks,
Heavy?
yeah.
Really heavy?
It looks awkward. It looks like you're trying to grab a giant hot dog or something, like.
I don't know. But, yeah. I don't know. That's the one that fires the thing out of the top, right?
Bang! Yeah, well, I don't know if it fires it out. But it does, it has the clips. That's the thing everyone likes to talk about when they try to correct people that are
It's got clips.
going against gun control. Like, it's not a clip, it's a magazine. They don't use clips. Like, fuck, man.
Isn't it a clip? I thought that's a clip.
Those are clips, yeah.
Yeah.
But that always bothered me when you hear like someone that's on the liberal or whatever portion of the political spectrum, and they're like, these high capacity clips are just too much, and they're like, actually, it's a magazine. It's not a clip.
You got the knife hand low drag toolbox that corrects them.
Yeah, like, man, you know what they're trying to say. Like, that argument's pointless to me.
It's not a jam.
They don't
kind of jam. You mean malfunction? Shut the fuck up.
You're not solving it. I mean, yeah, they don't know anything about weapons or whatever, but
What are you doing? You're just establishing what? The fact that you know more?
I know terminology.
Yeah, I got definitions down.
It is not a clip. It is a magazine, but you
the
understand what their argument is, right? Even though the terms aren't correct. But anyway, the run itself was great. It's fun. It was challenging. Let's just test your gear. We've said it before on the podcast numerous times. Like, if you ever have thought about running one of these and are apprehensive for whatever reason, you should do it. There were a lot of first time people at this one. When they're doing the safety brief, like they said, how many is this first time? And a lot of people raised their hands, so it was good. Good people.
Think they were nervous?
I don't know. Probably. I get nervous.
No, that's what I was saying. I always get nervous, but mine's performance anxiety, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Because the thing about it,
I want to win.
Well, yeah, like my mom's like, "Oh, you're gonna get first place." Like, Mom, like, all it takes is one tiny misstep or whatever, and I'm done. You know, you're not competing.
Should have had a 9 mil. 9 mil, you would have won first place.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, so if you go to a stage and for whatever you like, put your magazine in and fuck, what the hell? Like, okay. And then
seconds
you DQ, or if you're like, you're done, over, get out of here, But the like running portion is, unless you fuck yourself up or get lost, which has happened to me, and I know the damn course, like shit can just happen. So
it will happen.
yeah. And it will happen in real life. That's the thing. You know,
That's the beauty of it.
That's the whole point of the thing. Like, oh yeah, I can smoke targets out at 100 yards and keep a whatever group, just sitting here on my bench or on my hover round,
Yeah,
But that's not realistic. So
that's true. Yeah, no, it will. When you're tired and worn out,
yeah,
it happens.
makes you make stupid decisions and not thinking straight. And there's a lot of hit and start moving. No, you got to get one more on those. Oh, hit. All right, now go.
Yeah.
Fuck, I knew that. Why am I sitting there jacking around?
It's always a good time. I wished I would have went. I wish I could have went.
I ate a bunch of good barbecue, smoked meats, and wieners, and pork, and had bad gas. It was pissing everyone off.
Were you there? Did you stay Friday night?
Yeah. Camped out Friday night, slept in the back of my truck. So
Were you warm?
yeah, we went to bed. It was like freezing cold. We're all hovering around this propane heater.
You guys no fire?
Fucking wind was blowing like 30
Dry.
miles an hour.
Yeah. Okay.
Place would have been torched, scorched earth afterwards. But we're all hovering around this heater, and then I go to sleep and I wake up and it was warmer than when I went to bed.
Oh,
Weird,
nice.
and
Yeah.
everything feels
Yeah.
moist.
Yeah.
I actually went to bed with a sweatshirt on and a pair of pants and woke up in the middle of the night sweating sweating bad.
Yeah.
To where I pulled my shirt off and wiped myself down and then got back in that sleeping bag. So I don't know if I had too many clothes on or if it was the change in temperature or what, but I don't know. I also felt like I was doing a bunch of that.
Yeah?
when I was sleeping at night.
Doing my thing?
Yeah, but like I don't know. I think it's part to do when I'm in a sleeping bag.
Mine's when I'm out camping. It's like
Yeah, you
I can unleash
You get
myself.
the weirdest fucking sleep noises when you're out camping.
I don't know if it's. I don't do it. I think it's because I was fatter. Right? Like
I don't know, but that sounded like you were dying.
I'm thinking that it has to do with being fatter. Because I don't do it as much, but I am snoring more lately.
I'm too.
But I'll tell you what I think it is. So you are too?
Yeah.
So think about this. Wait till summertime. I bet you snore less.
Oh yeah.
I fucking don't snore in the summer. As soon as it gets dry like this, I start to snore.
My wife says I snore a lot now.
Really?
I don't hear myself, but of course everyone says that.
I hear myself. I'll be like, and they'll be like, what the fuck just happened? But it's not the sleep apnea thing though, right? People get,
You're gonna get a jet mask.
yeah.
What I don't get is like I always think of things like what's the point as far as like the evolution of the human or whatever. Like why do we evolve to lose the hair on our head and get all fat and grow hair on your back? Like what's the point of snoring?
Well, that's not, that wouldn't be, I mean, that's our evolution because we're evolving in our environment of fucking
Living longer?
laziness. Getting,
you don't
getting fat.
you don't grow hair on your back out
No,
of
getting
laziness.
fat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And eating shit. I would bet the hair on your back thing,
Oh dude. So I watched
I
Ninja.
think that has to do with like DHT, right? Or whatever that's called with whenever your body is, I don't know.
So I watched Ninja 3 Domination last night. It's on Amazon. So you got Enter the Ninja.
Okay. I remember that.
The white ninja.
Yeah.
And then you got Revenge of the Ninja, which is my favorite.
Right, that's the best one. Well, I don't know this next one.
So you got Ninja 3 Domination. It's a story.
Wait a minute. No, I haven't seen that one.
You may have. So it's a girl.
Okay,
Girl
I have
gets-
seen that one.
Girl gets possessed by
By the
ninja.
Shokazugi.
No,
or not, the
Shokazugi
other
comes
one.
from Japan and fights this guy at the end, right?
Okay, wait a minute. So is this the one where he's like, he disappears into the sand and then pops
Yeah.
up on a power line?
I don't think he
Or-
pops up
or
in a
he-
power line, but he digs himself into the ground.
Okay, yeah. Damn, dude, I seen this. This got to be almost.
So this girl, the girl in the movie,
She's good looking, in my head.
She's good looking, But I mean, the acting's horrible. But of course, it's Ninja 3. But her boyfriend in it is this cop, and it's got him like in a tank top and stuff. That guy is like the hairiest, and he's skinny. I can't believe they didn't like, hey, dude, you're gonna have to singe this shit off with a torch. Of course, I mean, I guess it was the 80s or whatever. Or
that was cool.
I'm
Magnum
I'm talking full hair, like all over, and different colors, like black and gray and
like puffed out from like you
but
wear
I mean,
a tank top.
It was everywhere. Yeah, like full on, like you're gonna get stuck in hair. Like I wouldn't want that.
Wearing a blue like? Is she wearing like a blue kind of jumpsuit kind of thing? Maybe
blue jumpsuit.
Yeah, did she wear that?
She was a telephone repair person.
She was okay.
Yeah.
I just fucking said it. I said the telephone.
She was
up there, and then dude's like under the sand.
Yeah, but he didn't appear on the telephone pole.
Man, I mean, that's what I saw in my head.
She's fixing the power line. Or
would you have been able to remember that from like 40 years ago, 30 years ago?
Well, it depends. Like if you ask me details of Revenge of the Ninja, I could basically tell you the words of it.
But you've seen it recently.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this
it's on Amazon.
Like 1987, probably.
You should watch it. It's on Amazon.
I'm going to watch it.
It's pretty bad.
Well, I mean, I'll probably do something while I'm watching it, but it'll be...
Like I fell asleep in part of it and then woke up at the end. But I'd never seen it. I mean, I'd seen parts of it. It was on HBO, I remember when I was a kid. And I remember thinking like, oh, chick's hot. And then I also remember wanting to rent it. And then I was like, girls aren't ninjas, when I was a kid. Which,
what's funny about this is that how old am I? How much older than I am of you?
I don't know. I'm 37, about to be 38.
Okay, so 6 years, right? So you were watching it after I already watched it.
Yeah.
But you were probably still watching on VHS.
Ninja 3 Domination, I remember seeing it in the beta section.
Yeah, it was 1987? 1988?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I gotta see this. The girl.
She's hot. I can't remember. She was in that movie Dance 2 or something. I think that's what it said.
1984.
That's when that movie came out?
Yeah. They must have all came out the same year.
Why don't they have ninja movies anymore? Is America done? Love affair done with the ninja? Because right now on Amazon,
send a Dickie.
On Amazon, you can watch Revenge, Enter, Ninja 3, and they got American Ninja 1, which I'm going to watch soon with Michael Dudikoff or whatever his name is. Yeah. Which I'm sure when I watch that, I'm like, God, this is horrible too.
Have you seen Jim Cotta lately?
I love that movie. Yeah, I watched it on YouTube actually, like last year or something. Dude, that scene, that part where he goes in that town that's like the Damned or whatever, that's creepy as hell to me.
Right. Well, that movie's really dark.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
And that guy from Spaceballs is the president. Looks like Mel Brooks. It's not him though.
He is?
Is the king
Dude,
of...
you got a good memory.
King of Dudikoff or whatever it's called. Can't remember what the country is called. But I used to watch that when I was a kid too. That movie kind of freaked me out.
Jim Cotta?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dark movie.
Because it had the Olympic gymnast in it.
Yeah.
His name? Kurt Thomas.
We're not going to be able to...
3-time world gymnastics champion. His assignment... a secret mission for the United States government.
Chick's hot too.
His only weapon.
I remember one of always
himself.
You notice
that's all he needs.
Did fucking TV look like this when we were kids? It's like you can't see shit now.
And the power
it couldn't have looked like this.
gymnastics.
Nobody would have watched it.
With the explosive force
I don't know.
of
This is
karate.
horrible.
And a new, all-powerful martial art is born. Jim Cotta. Kurt Thomas becomes Jonathan Cabot.
Oh.
He must penetrate a mountain fortress.
This is the worst video I've ever seen.
Savage ritual. They call it the game. But nobody wins. And nobody lives. Until now.
Guns.
I don't either.
When
A lot
gymnastics
of
and
this shit
karate are fused, the combustion becomes an explosion.
See, they should
And a
still
new
make
kind
movies
of
like
martial
this.
arts
Quit making the
superhero
shit
is
that they make
born.
now.
Jim Cotta.
It's some serious music, man.
I like that guy's voice.
Type in the Ninja 3 trailer. See if it's on
Ninja
there.
3 Domination. Oh, I want to tell you, I watched a thing the other day called. I've been telling you about that Black Mirror, but I'm not going to talk about that. I want you to watch that. You probably won't,
Probably not.
but I watched a show on Netflix called Born Strong.
Yeah.
It's about those world's strongest men, right? This doesn't have a trailer. Let's see. I don't even know if it has a trailer.
It's got to have a trailer.
Oh, here we go. Remember that?
Yeah. Cannon Group. You knew something good was coming up.
He is the most feared and powerful warrior.
Same fucking
A
guy.
ninja who breaks from ancient tradition and explodes onto America.
Damn. Look at that. I used to think that shit was amazing.
It's funny those guys got hit with ninja stars in the hands and died, you know?
His soul possesses the body of an innocent woman and transforms her into a lethal assassin.
You have to think the guy that reads the trailers, he's reading this shit and he's like, the fuck is this show? Rob Riggle?
See,
Only a ninja can destroy a ninja.
Look,
Her only hope
There's Stroke
is
City.
Yamada, the master ninja.
is he a real ninja or just an actor? Because in my head, when I was a kid, he was a real
he was
ninja.
a real ninja. Just they brought
Probably
him.
because he was Japanese. In reality, he's just real good at math.
Yeah.
Where Revenge of the Ninja left off, Ninja 3 begins. An epic struggle of superhuman strength.
Fuck, they
and
didn't show my
supernatural
part,
force.
man, where he disappears.
Ninja 3. the
Yeah, she's a
domination.
lineman.
Yeah. No, she's
a telephone worker.
telephone
yeah,
worker, yeah.
But
It's quality theater right there. So if you haven't seen any of those movies, I recommend you see them.
all right, so I watched this Born Strong. It's about the World Strongman, right? Competition at the Arnold Classic. Dude, those guys. So what would you think the hardest thing is about being one of those guys? About those World Strongman?
The hardest thing?
Yeah.
Eating?
Fuck, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's eating.
Yeah, man, I've seen those guys.
12,000 calories in a day.
I've seen those guys that do the professional bodybuilding, and I mean, you're eating nonstop.
Uh-huh.
Like, I couldn't do it.
The professional bodybuilders, like the big ones, like 300 pounds, they're like lightweights compared to these guys. These guys were like 400 plus pounds, 6'8", 6'9".
They like dying though at like 40 years old.
Oh, if they eat like that, one of the guys that they were talking about, he's like, I couldn't do this for 10 years. If I did this for 10 years, I would die. He's like, I can't do this. Another guy, however,
What's his name?
He was 6'3", right? And
Was it
he was.
Vladimir Pujanowski? He died.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's probably tons of steroids and
He was
eating like
dude was ripped, man, for a strong man. You know, most of them are like tubby. This guy was like ripped.
Well, they're kind of changing their dynamic of their body type now. Like it's not so much about
Imagine how much shit someone makes.
yeah,
eating
the
that many
crap
calories.
factory. Here, look at this guy.
I used to love watching World's Strongest Man on ESPN, and then I'd watch those. I can't remember who sponsored them. They were those adventure.
Look at that guy right there, right?
Yeah.
That guy is one of the world's strongman, right? So let's scroll down here.
That's Arnold, right?
That's Arnold next to him. Yeah, it's his thing. He puts it on. It's the Arnold Classic. So look at this real quick, okay?
Which says Jay Cutler.
Yeah. That guy is one of the world's best bodybuilders, right?
He looks tiny.
Look at this. These guys, the fuck?
I hate to say this, but it looks like. Nah, I'm just gonna keep that to myself.
No, can't do that.
Like I'd be better at math than those dudes.
Than these guys?
Yeah.
This guy's really smart in that documentary. He's
Really?
very scientific about everything that he does. This guy he's actually a politician in Lithuania. And then this guy, you might be smarter than this guy.
The Beast.
But that's the guy that he retired. So maybe not. Like he was like, I just want to be at one time. I want to win at one time. If I win it, I'm retiring. Retired immediately. He's like, I can't live like this. And then there's this guy, right? The Mountain. Game of Thrones guy.
Who's that little lady?
That's that guy's mama. Is Icelandic.
Is she banging the mailman?
Yeah, probably. I think his dad was pretty tall too. But
She's a little short.
what I wanted to say about it was the effort that those dudes put in is unreal. Imagine the damage to your body.
No, I was talking to a guy I was talking to Murph at the gym today because
He was there?
fucking deadlifting 400 plus pounds. And
Yeah.
I said, man, how? I said, you're older than me. I said, how are you lifting that heavy a weight and not fucking stuff up? I was like, I feel like all I'm doing right now is babying injuries, trying to get past them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I get past them, I'm like, well, I'm not squatting more than this because I don't want to fuck my back up again. Or I'm not overhead pressing like 225 pounds because I'm going to fuck my shoulder up again. He's like, I don't know. You know?
It's a perfect invitation.
It's like, you see me though. I'm over there. I'm over doing one rep, you know. But I mean, really, it's like,
Did he have his glasses on?
he's looking at you real intense.
Standing.
But
Real
he
full
yeah,
down.
yeah, he was he went to some powerlifting thing in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I want to lift heavy weights too, but I don't want to do it. I mean, I feel like there's a
Fine
there's an end. You can't do that. You can't fucking squat that much weight and expect your body not to get worn out, right? Or
Right,
deadlift.
like- Yes,
I'd love to
like-
try to deadlift heavy weights, you know, like we used to do. I'd love to do that. I like the my levels are low on YouTube according to the comments. You're trying to drown me out.
Oh, really?
Which
I
microphone?
think that's your microphone. I think that's the fact that you do this.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So I love doing all that heavy stuff
Uh-huh.
like we used to, but you know, it's like that motivational video I sent to you. Ain't nobody gonna remember what you did last week, so it doesn't matter. I don't know what the answer is though, man. Like I want to continue to work out, keep my body fit in case the war of the machine starts. I want to be able to shoot in case the war of the machine starts. Rifle and pistol, but like I feel if I continue doing what I do, if I were to do it for the next how much time do I have left? 40 years or something?
Yeah, probably 35, 40
I'm
years.
gonna be like dragging my legs
40
around
years.
behind me like a dead, you know, like a limp dog or a lame dog. You know what I mean?
Let's hope you got more than 40. So you got like 50.
50 years.
90-year-old. That'd be all right.
By that time, I'll have a
Robot
cyborg
fucking legs.
exoskeleton.
But you said you won't.
I'm not taking it. I'll be dragging my legs behind me on a pair of fucking training wheels, fighting robots with my bare hands.
You're like that dog.
You'll
on
be full
Secret
on
Life of Pets.
Yeah, you'll look like Krang. You'll be riding around.
I won't even exist in this universe.
You'll
I'll be in the.
You'll be
fucking-
riding around in some dude's stomach talking to me about world domination. Mike, get out of there. No way, man. This is perfect. I got no pain. My foot doesn't hurt.
I got robot legs. Fat as shit because I'm not burning any calories.
Well, you'd just be a head. There'd be no point to.
I guess the body would be
You know,
gone.
you got Krang's body for the rest of it.
Robot dick.
Yeah. Red underpants.
Adjustable.
Crazy glasses.
We don't need glasses.
No, Krang had glasses, didn't he?
No.
Yeah, he had like sunglasses.
Oh, the this
big-
part.
yeah.
Not the not that
Not the
part.
brain part.
Yeah, that was just so that you didn't identify with the. Remember the guy that I used to think was Krang from the gym?
Yeah, is he still around?
I see him periodically at the Planet Fitness. You know, so he works out at Planet Fitness on the weekends. So
he
if I
lifts
go-
heavy too, and he's
Yeah,
an
he
older
lifts
dude.
heavy as shit. He squats. He puts 4 plates on that squat rack on the Smith machine now, but still does it for reps. Does 10 reps with it, 4 plates on each side. That's
So if
a
you're one
lot
of our
weight.
listeners and you do heavy weightlifting, I want to know how.
Like you have to, whenever you say heavy, I think you need to clarify, because there might be people that are here like, oh yeah, I bench 225. That
My bench and my squat, I'm working out with the same amount of weight, which is pathetic.
are you?
Should be 100 pounds more on my squat than my bench. So I should be doing what we do with like 325. You know?
Yeah,
But I'm scared to do it. I want to fucking do like I did that
yeah,
8 months, back hurting. And
yeah.
of course, I went to the chiropractor. And I want to say something real quick. I don't believe in chiropractors,
Me
right?
neither.
I don't understand how popping someone's back does anything at all.
I think it's like crack cocaine.
So I went to a chiropractor 2 weeks ago because my arms are going to sleep at night, and I had some weird shit going on with my shoulders. Fucking guy did something, and it's working, right?
And you not have to go back.
No, he wants me to come back, so that's the thing, right?
Uh-huh.
So I've been coming back, but I told him, I'm like, I'll do this, you know. I'm not gonna be coming here every day for the rest of my life.
Tell him that.
But
You have to give him the impression then whenever, because what he's going to do, he's going to
not
do
gonna
another
pop
little
it.
thing.
Not gonna
He's
pop
do
it right.
another little thing and be like, all right, this fucking guy, he doesn't want to come back to me. Okay, I'm going to do this one too.
I
And
don't
then
get
you're
it,
gonna have to
man.
be like,
It's I don't understand it. Like whenever I pop my knuckles, I don't realign on my fucking knuckles, right?
I wouldn't think
I
so.
don't and if you've ever
I
cut
don't pop
like
my
a
knuckles.
like you cut a deer open, like if you're like, oh, this vertebrae. I mean, you can have the skin off, fucking muscles off. Like, oh, this vertebrae needs. I'll pop it over. You're not moving it. It's gonna go right back, right? So I don't understand how it's working, but it's fucking. If it's in my head, if it's
How
a
many
placebo,
times have you been?
I don't know, not that many.
Oh, dude, you're in.
But if it's a
Sorry.
placebo, like I'll take it. You
I
know,
know, but you're in now. That's how they get you. Like, you know those like goat fucking parties that you end up going to?
Here's the thing,
Like wearing
too.
flannel, according to the Russians?
Yeah.
Same thing, man.
Here's the thing. My hip,
Uh-huh.
my hip quit fucking hurting.
Really?
Yeah. So I can't explain it. So I was looking up on it because I was like, this is bullshit. This can't work. Like, there's no way
Which
a chiropractor works. So I was looking on the internet trying to find this like chiropractor's real and all this, and they said the Medical Association of Doctors or whatever it's called, I can't remember, said that chiropractors do work in certain instances, right? For like structural things or whatever.
Okay.
But they said that they don't know why it works. They can't. There's results. People get relief from back pain and things, but they're not sure why.
See, this tells me, okay, here you go. So, this should tell you that we don't know shit yet, right? Like, we've got a good idea, but we're just scratching at the. So, all of medicine, you could be like, it's okay, but we don't really know why chiropractors work, but we fucking hate them because what do most doctors do? Doctors will be like, that's not a real doctor.
I think
that's
that's
not a doctor.
I think that's part of the deal, and I have a problem with that too. Those guys are like, are your sinuses bothering you? Like, I can pop your L4 and L5 and clear that up. Like, what? You know,
Little baby massages.
people popping their kids' backs and shit. Like, whoa, man.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. I don't subscribe to any of it.
I don't know. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna be that one guy.
I'm gonna finish out finish out my treatment plan or whatever he calls it, and then
Is it like when you did yoga? Do you get like 10 free sessions and then?
I got a free one because I got a card at the holiday thing in downtown Jinx. Free visit. The
I have
dude
a friend
that does
that's a
mine is-
chiropractor.
Yeah, I've been to him a
Yeah,
long time ago, and I fucked my neck up.
I know. He did. Or
No, I
after
did.
after or before?
No, I jacked my neck up,
And then he went there?
I went there.
And he fixed it?
Yeah,
And it worked?
yeah. Here's the other thing. People won't believe me when I say
Believe
this.
that.
I can feel when I get X-rayed. I can feel it hit me.
Are you serious?
Yes, and my wife's like, "You can't. It's impossible. It builds up static on my fucking skin. I can feel it hit me. Like I want someone
You
to.
might be
I want to
a
test.
reptilian.
I want to take a test, but I don't want to get X-rayed because I don't want a bunch of radiation. But I was like, I'd bet someone fucking $5,000
So
I
you
could
can
feel
tell
it.
it whenever.
Yeah,
So it'd be like
I'll
that
tell you
hearing
when-
test?
Yeah, like close my eyes, go in the other room, and I'll tell you when you hit that button because I can feel it.
It's been a long time since I've been X-rayed.
No,
I mean, other than whenever you go through the airport, you can't feel that one, can you?
I don't think so. That's
That's
magnetic
low.
resonance. I'm talking about the. I assume the chiropractor has like
Wait a
the.
minute. Wait a minute. The thing at the airport. That's not an X-ray.
I don't think it's
That's an
actual
X-ray.
X-ray. I don't think
Radiation. They say that you're getting radiated.
magnetic resonance.
An
whatever.
MRI.
I think.
You're going to get an MRI done.
I think so. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know.
Oh, well, I don't know either.
I figured that a chiropractor's probably
fake
got
news.
like the radioact or the
You got the real shit.
X-rays from like the 40s in there.
Heavy water and uranium.
Yeah, like,
It's the shit that Hitler snuck out with
Yeah.
in his U-boat.
it's not the highest quality X-ray machines, I'd assume.
Yellow cake.
I don't know though. Maybe not. But anyway, I feel happy to the placebo effect is working on me. I feel bad, like I got to pretend. Like, all right, man, but I
But
don't know.
you're not pretending. Your hip's done hurting.
I mean,
Well,
not
I'm happy
done
for you, man.
It's not done, but it's less. It feels like it's going away. I don't understand how that can be. Like, how can that be?
I don't know, but take it.
Yeah, I mean, and what's funny is it wasn't like he's in there and he's like, "Hey, this will help your hip." I didn't even tell him my hip hurt. Like I just assumed that was part of my life now, right?
Maybe everything that was going on was stemmed from your back, and so your
I
hip,
don't know. So I didn't even notice until the other day. I ran up the stairs and I took a 2-step,
Yeah, that's how.
and
I
that
always
used to
walk. I
like
feel
make me almost drop when my
12-year-old.
my left leg
Really?
would go up. Yeah, I just feel like someone stabbed me in the hip. I was like, holy shit, that didn't hurt. And I was like, damn, my hip hadn't hurt in a while. I just now realized it, you know. It'll hurt if I squat, but I assume it's still like healing or whatever is wrong with it. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it.
Maybe you shouldn't squat for a little bit,
Doctors don't even know what's wrong with it.
but it's working.
So
Well-
it's probably tendonitis.
When I have my robot body, and you're still
Rolling
in
around,
that old shit,
rolling around training
Mm-hmm.
wheels.
yeah, fucking Butch on Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah.
Well, when the robot wars do start, this is an ode to thought crimes, right? So
Yeah.
it's one I think we brought it up last week. It was the who would you bone, right? But Robot Wars version. So you're not really boning them. Who do you want to lead you into the robot wars?
Uh-huh.
So in the news, popular in the news, which is a guest of ours that we've had on here multiple times, was Adam Kokesh, right? Mm-hmm. So you have Adam Kokesh or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Who do you want leading you in the robot wars? One is an actual combat vet, and then the other one is a wrestler.
Was he an infantryman?
He was
He's an
a
artillery guy,
No,
right?
he was not. No, he was not. He was not in any of combat arms. He was a psych warfare guy
Oh.
or something.
I want
along that
Dwayne
lines.
"The Rock" Johnson.
That's who you're rooting for.
How the fuck would you go to war with the pacifist robot? war?
Well, I would think that he's a humanist, though, right? Because he loves humans.
Yeah, but he's got a non-violence principle. I need
But
violence.
I think that nonviolence principle only goes. It only is applicable to humans. I think if it's robot wars,
I'm going with The Rock.
okay. Well, I probably would go
He's-
with The Rock as well. I don't know though. The Rock might be a big fucking pansy when he gets in the robot wars.
I could see that,
You know,
but I could could tell him to pull it together. Like,
You think
look,
so?
Yeah, Dwayne, come on, man. It's time to shine.
I don't think.
Get your head in the game. Pull
All right,
yourself
so-
together.
so-
Then he
so-
used to play football,
He did play football, and his dad played football.
and he's a professional wrestler. Or he was.
And he's
You give those robots the people's elbow.
yeah. Smell what he's cooking. All right, so last week's champion was Oprah. It was right.
Yeah, fucking.
You chose Oprah. I
yeah,
chose Oprah.
over Donald Trump.
Easy.
Yeah.
Every day.
Well, Donald Trump be standing in the background talking about how great,
How huge
he's-
and great everything is.
yeah. Oprah's gonna be like fucking firing lightning bolts out of her hands, and she's got I don't know, a good supply chain. I could assume. She probably looks like she'd be mean.
Oh, I would imagine. All right, so you got Oprah. So maybe next week we have the who do you out of Oprah and The Rock?
Ooh,
I still choose Oprah.
that's a tough one.
I'm still going with. I mean, though she probably would irritate me more.
Yeah, she's gonna talk down to you.
But
You want her to?
kind of.
Look, Donahue, fucking, these are robots.
It's easy.
Yeah, fuck, man. Throw water on them. Listen, Connie Chung. Wasn't Oprah married to Phil Donahue?
Yes,
Was she?
that's probably fake news.
Connie Chung was
She's married to Tom
Phil
Brokaw.
Phil Donahue. Is
She might
Connie
have
Chung
been-
still alive?
Yeah, she's on The View.
She was in Ninja 3 Domination.
Wait, wasn't she in The View?
No, that's Meredith Vieira, right?
Oh, there's an Asian woman. Connie Chung is Asian. Meredith Vieira is not. There's an Asian woman on The View.
Yeah, it's not Connie Chung.
I think it is.
More importantly, is Phil Donahue still alive? Who would you go to combat with the robots, Phil Donahue or Oprah Winfrey?
I'm still
Phil
going.
Donahue looks like he is a giant asshole to me.
He's still alive, and I'm going with Oprah because that guy's got Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah.
Can't fucking see a thing.
he just put a lighter behind him, fucking shooting lasers out of those
He's
things.
82.
Does he not look like one of those old men that is like gritting his teeth, flipped off or flipping out in traffic? Like you
Yeah.
get his order wrong at a restaurant, he's gonna flip a table over.
So
That's who I need lead me in robot combat.
I watch. It's funny.
I want to see what Phil Donahue.
I watched an interview of Phil Donahue. So everybody that listens to this podcast knows that I'm an Ayn Rand fan, right? Ayn Rand fan. You said that. But I watched an interview.
Ayn Rand likes kinky sex.
Oh well, yeah. Anyways, I watched an interview with Phil Donahue. He was interviewing Ayn Rand, right? And they were talking about, they're trying to demonize capitalism and all that stuff.
And he lost his shit.
She fucked him up. Like he's just like,
I thought fucking Ayn Rand died in the 40s or something.
no, 82 maybe?
Oh. Thought maybe Phil Donahue was a time traveler.
Yeah.
Maybe the perfect answer.
Perfect guy for the...
Like, I'm going to go in the future, win this, and come back, and we'll talk. All right, Phil Donahue.
And I don't, back, that question that we were talking about the other week, whenever if
I'll
we
follow
could travel back in time, could dominate. You never really answered that. Like, you don't think like that? You don't ever sit there and be like, you know what? Fuck, if I could go back in time, I would rule the fucking world.
No,
Well, especially if I see shit like
just
like
Marty McFly would get an almanac and win a bunch of money and then live happily ever after.
I have no real want to. Like, I want to settle injustices back in the past. See, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's a flaw of mine. I feel like I got to settle injustices all the time, right? Like I got to be that guy. That's not a good thing. But if I could go back in the past, like I see the fucking those shows like the Knights Templar stuff, I'd be like, dude, or a Viking war, like. All you got to do is, if you go back in time, you got a rifle, you just stand back there one time, shoot their leader, and then be like, look, I just did that from here. What do you guys want to do? Would we gonna make friends here, or am I gonna just do this to all of you?
Chop your head off.
But they ain't gonna even get close to me. I'll send my liege out there to get them. You know what I mean? But I think what happens is then it's just like when Planet of the Apes, when they see that fucking gun, then they start to freak. They realize like, hey, that shit's dangerous. You know, and then they want to take it away from you when you're sleeping. And then you're...
Yeah, just like that movie where that kid gets lost in the jungle.
Jungle Book?
No, he gets lost in the jungle. His dad's a miner in like South America.
Tarzan?
Emerald Forest, I think it's called.
I don't see that.
Science Forum. I can feel x-rays.
Really?
I read you specifically for this thread. I guarantee you that I have felt an x-ray before. I've felt it multiple times. It feels like tingling or a very low current going through the portion of your body being x-rayed. That's what it feels like. It feels like static.
You guys
First
should
time
get blood drawn and see if you guys have any...
I told the doctor, and he was like, that's interesting. The second time, I had forgotten completely about it. I was standing here getting my knee x-ray. I play sports, and I felt it again. Weird, though. Honestly, I'm 99% sure that this was no placebo. I'd be willing to prove it.
Maybe that's your brother that wrote that.
Right. Sorry, I just find this too hard to believe that you can simply feel this. You might think you can or felt something else, but it's more likely psychological than anything
Why do
else.
people feel like they need to do that?
That's what the internet's for.
Why do they feel like that? Like
people.
this guy, you said you feel it.
I
the
do.
Fuck am I supposed to tell you that you don't?
My wife told me I couldn't.
But
That's her job.
why? What's the point of that? That's what like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why do we got it? Like, okay, all right, cool. Are you okay? Like this. You feel that? And you say
I can
yes.
feel it. I'm not.
And then you say yes. Are you okay? Are you okay? You feel it. Does it hurt?
No, it's like
Okay.
static.
All right. So you're good, right? That's all I got. That's what I would. Okay. Fuck, that's a weird phenomenon. This dude came and said he felt x-rays. He didn't hurt. He's fine. Guess maybe, you know what I mean? Well, then move on. I don't know. All right. Robot Wars. Done.
All right, let's go to the hot zone. We got one story. It's late anyway. Maybe a short podcast. Hot. Is it on? Hot zone.
You should have done that faster. Hot.
It's like a rap. All right, this is from the Star Telegram.
This is the only thing in the hot zone? What are the other things?
I can't pan down. I didn't read this. Did you just add this?
I added it yesterday.
I read all the stories you added, but I didn't read this.
Oh. Well, since
You read it. Mine's
Okay,
fried.
ready?
Yeah.
So this guy was obviously a former guest on our show, and we both chose The Rock over Adam to lead us in the robot wars. But Adam has announced his candidacy for president, right? Which we all knew that was going to happen, didn't we? For 2020.
Yeah.
And people asked him why he didn't run beforehand. It's because he wasn't old enough, right? But he's 35 now, so he's old enough to run for president. He announced this comes from the Fort Worth Star Telegram. He announced his candidacy for president. 30 minutes later, he was arrested. So little-known presidential candidate Adam Kokesh was arrested Tuesday in Wise County and remains in jail. This was as of January 18, 2018. A situation that Kokesh is calling a gross miscarriage of justice. Kokesh, a libertarian, was stopped twice on Tuesday within 30 minutes of announcing his plans to run for president. Texas Department of Public Safety said Kokesh's recreational vehicle was pulled over for a traffic violation at 12:45 p.m. Tuesday on US 81/287 near the US 380 intersection. Kokesh, 35, who resides in Ash Fork, Arizona, recorded the first 28 minutes of the traffic stop, with troopers eventually calling in a canine officer to search the exterior of the RV. A trooper then told Kokesh that the dog had signaled to troopers and he was to told to turn off the camera. At this point and time, the dog did alert, so we're going to a whole nother level, the trooper said while Kokesh was recording. Before he turned off the camera, Kokesh said, "If you don't hear from me, please come find me." In a statement released by his girlfriend, Kokesh called his arrest a gross miscarriage of justice. Kokesh was booked into Wise County Jail on charges of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 and 2, tampering with evidence, and possession of marijuana. Bail has been set at $76,500, according to Wise County Sheriff Lane Aiken. During the search, troopers located evidence and arrested Kokesh, said DPS spokesman Lonnie Haskell. Aiken said in his office started getting besieged with calls from libertarian organizations on Tuesday. Ben Farmer, Kokesh's chief strategist for the presidential campaign, is in Decatur and said that they are asking the district attorney to reduce Kokesh bail to $0. It's difficult to understand everything that's going on, said Farmer of Austin. Farmer called it extremely suspicious that Kokesh would get pulled over not once but twice after announcing his plans to run. Kokesh, a Marine and published author, filed for president, pledging to use his presidency to localize, liberate, and liquidate all federal agencies. In a news release before his arrest, Kokesh said, "America is too good for this government. There is no reason San Francisco should be delegating laws in San Antonio and vice versa. Nobody wants that. When we localize everything, everyone gets what they want." Kokesh said that he has toured the U.S. for the last 3 years to learn what people want from government and how it can be fixed. He's been arrested previously and is also known as a gun rights activist who gained attention in 2013 for loading a shotgun in Freedom Plaza, Washington, D.C. So, is it suspicious that he got arrested 30 minutes after announcing it? He got pulled over twice. Got pulled over twice. Is that suspicious?
I don't know. I mean,
I'd like to see how many times he's been pulled over. It would be one, right? Like if you've not been pulled over, when was the last time you got pulled over?
Couple months ago.
You got pulled over a few months ago?
Yeah, so speeding and my tag was expired.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't
been
know
a long time for me.
I didn't know my tag was expired.
Yeah.
I always like the way they tell you that. Like, you know, your tag's expired? No, I did not.
Yeah. Yeah, I did know. That's why I'm driving around like this.
They email me on some of the vehicles we own, but this one they didn't. So,
well, that's the government for you.
I don't ever think to look. You know, I mean, why would they remind you to pay that? Yeah. They get more money if you don't. They're going to get their tax.
That's right.
Right? But then they get to put a $150 ticket on top of it. Yeah. So a couple months ago.
So, you don't think it's suspicious at all?
I mean, who do you announce it to?
Twitter-wide.
So then these...
Well, you got to think. So, he's already... Law enforcement does not like him, right?
Yeah.
That the whole thing where he was in jail for however long it was after the Freedom Plaza thing.
Mm-hmm. The shotgun shell.
Yeah. So you got to think. Just put yourself. Try to imagine yourself as a law enforcement officer now, not one that thinks like you, but like an actual law enforcement officer. Mm-hmm. What kind of what goes around? I mean, it's like anything else. Like, just in the nature of, hey, it's time to fuck with this guy, right? We got to stick up for our brothers in arms.
Yeah, but how they find him that fast,
dude? He's got tons of Twitter followers. I'm in Fort Worth. I'm doing this. I don't know. Maybe they.
To me, it seems like, hey, dude, let's shrink that head down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe
he's got a following, but it's a like, hey, libertarian anarchist following. It's not like, hey, you know, Adam Kokesh is running for president, and the entire police across the country are like, let's get Kokesh.
I'm not thinking like that. But what I am saying is that a favor, hey, whatever. What I am saying is this: is that So the guy that announces that he knows he's not going to win, right?
Uh-huh.
Might hope that he wins, but what he is doing, he's going to shed light on the. He just said he wants to liquidate all federal agencies. He comes out, he speaks highly against police officers, right? About the fucking the disgusting things that happen, right? I mean, he's probably got a bigger voice than we do. He's probably, as far as people that don't like police officers, he probably has one of the biggest voices, right?
Bigger than cop block.
He's probably right up there with them, or they lump him in with it, right?
Yeah.
So
To me, I mean, in just my opinion,
and
I
it might
think
be a
if he-
stunt to.
I mean, I'm trying to think of someone else. Like, I don't know. I can't think of someone the same kind of thing. Like, it seems hard for me to believe that 30 minutes after. I just think it's a coincidence. Mm-hmm. Like,
well, he got stopped twice though.
Yeah.
That's the weird part. Like I could get once.
To
but
me-
then why the fuck do you get
To me,
stopped twice?
that would be like, hey, I just pulled over Adam Kokesh. He's doing this. Like, oh, okay, I'll get him. But I don't think it's like, hey, I just pulled over Adam Kokesh. He's running for president. Oh, well, let's stop him. You know.
Okay, that makes sense.
Who's Adam Kokesh? Oh, he's that guy who hates cops. Oh, I'll pull him over for this then. You know what I mean?
I could get that.
But I don't think there's like this.
So it's not the announcing candidacy. It's more of a just coincidence and then a fuck with.
Yeah.
So the first one's a coincidence. Second one was like, hey, let's just dick this dude over.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that. I would think that.
It's all along the lines of.
So how does
putting
Kokesh
the,
spin this to make it work
sticker
for
on
him?
the back of your car, like I hate engineers or I hate cops. Like if you're known cop hater, then obviously if the police pull you over, it's going to go across the radio. You know,
Yeah.
dude, Adam Kokesh is in town. Oh, all right. How does he spin it?
Yeah,
I
because
don't know. Didn't he get caught with a fucking bunch of pills and marijuana?
got
and
caught
shit?
with weed, was it?
I thought it was pills.
It was there was weed, pills. And I think like LSD, not LSD, but whatever. What is that? What's that? What do they call that? Psychotropics? No, it's not psychotropics. You know what I'm talking about? Like mushrooms or whatever that is. Whatever kind of
I don't know how he could. I mean, how could he spin it?
I mean, I don't know. How does he spin it? It's going to be spun, right? He's going to do his best.
He's gonna be screwed.
You think?
Yeah, I mean he's already got.
It's weed and
Yeah,
pills.
but he's already on probation for federal offense, right?
I think that's done.
Is it?
I think that's done.
If that's the case, if he's still got federal charges, I think he's screwed. If it's just, I don't know what the fucking rules are again with weed and pills.
It's so crazy,
the
right?
Pills are a bigger deal.
Well, think about that though. Like, who the fuck was he hurting?
Well, yeah, but you got the law of the land or whatever.
Right. The way to gain
we could
gain
argue
revenue.
that all day, you know, like prostitution stings or fucking heroin or whatever. Like they're fucking guys in this house just laying on the couch, like, not really hurting anyone. Why does it matter? But that's as far as like what.
Yeah, we operate inside that game. We got to. The only way we can do is try to change that game, right? Like change the rules of that game. But maybe that's what it. Maybe that's what it does. Maybe it helps that, right? Maybe he figured, not him, but I mean, fuck, it just seems so stupid to me. You know what? I have a here's the deal. Do you think that you think I like to think the way that I think? Like, here's the deal. Like, being an ideologue. Like, being like, where it's like, I feel like I know the truth, right? like the fact that I don't like the way that I say it, like I don't believe that man is supposed to govern another man, right? And you know how you say it's never going to change, right? But do you think that I like to think like that? Like it's for me, it's like it's just this trap. Like I wish that I could go back, right? Like I wish that I could go back to thinking in a way like differently, like where I don't feel like fuck, man, we're not supposed to live this way, right? Like we're not supposed to live this way, but we are.
Yeah.
And I feel like I feel like if I don't be consistent with what I feel or what I understand as the truth, it's like what's that dude name? I keep wanting to say Spicoli. What Spicoli said, but that's not Spicoli. It's Spicoli said, "Cool buds are
if you're here,
cool waves and tasty buds." Right?
If you're here and I'm here, doesn't that make it our time?
Not that. Spinoza. This is like what Spinoza said. He's like, you know, the light, and I'm fuck this all up, but the light defines the darkness, right? Just like the truth defines the falsities. That might be, and that's loose to what Spinoza said, but it's like this. I feel like it plagues me in my head. Like I feel like this is it. Like we're not supposed to live that way. We're not supposed to be governed by other people, right? Like you can accept that. You can accept to be governed by somebody else. You know, you can say, look, I submit to you. This is how I want to live. But the fact that you're forced to is a totally different story, right? And I don't know. I mean, I feel like I can't go back now. I feel like I can't go back to saying, oh, well, yeah, we do need police. We do need this. We do need all this. We do need this forced monopoly, right? We do need all this stuff that exists, right? This monopoly of force. We do need all this. And I can't go back on that because I see the truth in the way that it's supposed to be, as the way I see it, you know? And it's hard. It's hard for me to.
My biggest thing on all that is, like I was watching a video last week or something. It was some cop guy. He was protesting in front of a abortion clinic, and this cop shows up and says, you know, let me see your ID. And the guy's like, well, did I break the law? You know, does the whole thing. Like, am I being detained? Am I breaking the law? Actually, no, I don't have to show my ID. You know, starts using all these same terms, like, you know, like you just said, like monopoly on force and all this. And I do not myself want to get to the part to where I feel like I'm just
repeating what they're saying.
Yeah, taking another line. Like this guy, I think kind of like you, so I think this.
But that's not the case. Like I don't. Here's the for me, and I found this in economics. I didn't find this in all of this stuff. What it was I was like, oh, these people think alike, kind of like this. But where I found it was fucking Rothbard, right? Like, or what kicked it off was Ayn Rand, right? And then the evolution. The problem with her is that she doesn't allow people to think spiritually, right? Like she tries to get in the way of that. So she tries to dictate and tries to belittle people that want to have a spiritual connection with whatever it is that they believe in. When in my mind, it's like, I don't really care. Like if she really pertained to her principles, the virtue of selfishness, she wouldn't give a shit what people thought about spiritually, right? So she didn't follow her principles 100%. But that's where I found it, and then finding it through economics and understanding that, like, whenever people try to explain all these economic principles, and then they say, oh, well, the idea of saying that the United States is capitalism. This is a capitalist, and they go out there and they say it's a free market. This is a free market. Whenever they full well know that it's not, right? Like it is dictated by force, meaning it is dictated by death at the other end if you don't follow the ways if you don't follow the laws of the land, right? Mm-hmm. And that those laws are dictated to you by the majority rule, right? According to democracy, right? But the biggest thing there is that you're leaving out one thing, which is the minority, right? You're leaving out the smallest minority, which is the individual. And so you're taking away that you're dictating their choice. And so that's what it was for me, right? And then all these other people, they're using terminology, like that person, they're using terminology that was written by fucking Ludwig von Mises or Murray Rothbard, and then other people that come along later. But I see what you're saying is it's almost like a little group of people. I don't get on Facebook. I don't interact with any of those people.
Well,
I don't talk to any of those people.
If you watch any of the YouTube or any of that, it's the same thing. It drives me nuts. It's like we got the monopoly of force. We got this. We got that. Like, man, you guys, like, okay, I get it. Like, think as long as you're thinking. I mean, it doesn't matter to me, but like as long as everyone's thinking on their own and not just like, I don't subscribe to everything, but I subscribe to what Adam Kokesh says, or I subscribe to what whoever, or I subscribe, and that's it. You know, all you're doing is just changing from I subscribe to Donald Trump to I subscribe to whatever. But that's why I feel like, and I'm not saying I don't do that on some level too, but I feel like I've get to the point of, and I've said this before, like I just don't care about anything because,
well, you know that's the thing. I don't care. I've come to that point. Like I don't care, but I still feel like if I'm in a discussion,
so like if
I've got to point out that you're not identifying the definitions properly. If you're going to say this is a free market, the United States, I'm going to tell you that it's fucking not a free market because it's not. Right. If regulations, subsidies, that means that there's manipulation of the market to correct it, right? That they think that they're going to correct it. How many times? This is a great example. How many times the free market economics is like nature, right? If you think about it, it's survival of the fittest, right? In economics, it's always been survival of the fittest. It always has been in true economics, in a free market. In this economy, mixed economies, it's always a moocher's market, right? It's whoever appeals to whichever government entity to get them to offer favors to subsidize them. Do you know what that is? That's like taking the fucking cane toad from South America and introducing it into Australia because they have a problem with something. They introduce it there, and what does it do? It fucking runs wild, kills everything. There's no natural predators there. It's like taking things from. It'd be like introducing lions or whatever to some other place where there's no way that that there's no predator for them or whatever, you know what I mean, or nothing that's going to dominate them or they'll flourish. They'll just run wild. Or introducing different species into different, saying, oh, well, we got a problem with this roach. We need to bring this bird here. And the bird just fucking decimates things. That's what that is. That's exactly what that is. And man thinks that they can change. In this case, they're trying to manipulate human choice because that's what it is. All of it is all of human action. That's all it is. So whenever they do that, they use, and what do they do to do that? How do they manipulate that? Well, the only way you can manipulate it is by using government action, right? And how do we do that? What's the ultimate penalty there if you don't follow the government's rules? Fucking death. So that's why people say monopoly of force. That's why they say it's a fancy term to dictate to you, or to tell you like, hey, this is what's happening. But
I guess my point is like, if there's people that want that, there's people that want to live that. Like that's why I'm like, well, whatever, have at it. That's why I don't think
they can't. That's the thing. That's their whole thing. They can't live that way because they're being forced to pay their taxes. They're being forced to do these things because what they're trying to do is they're saying, hey, if there's a way to create a voluntary society and you want to live in it, fantastic. But right now, I can't even smoke weed. I can't do this. I can't do that without, maybe pull some of the laws off that there's no victim to.
No, so I think you got a clean slate, right?
Okay.
And we're going to, everyone can do whatever they want. It's like anarchist dream. Like there's no rules anywhere.
Okay. Well, that's
So-
not true.
So
You mean there's no government laws?
no government laws.
There are rules.
So all the anarchists, libertarian, or I guess you want to put them in the same group. I wouldn't put them in the same group, but so all the anarchist type people are going to be like, all right, man, let's do this. There's going to still be these people that are like, you know what? We need a leader. We need someone to run us. So, it's not the president, but we're going to call him the star captain. Captain, star captain. And he's in charge of us in this little place. And these anarchists are like, all right, man, you guys, we don't judge what anyone does, so you guys can do that all you want. But that's not the case, man, because a lot of those guys be like, you can't be ruled by people. You can't do that. You shouldn't have a ruler.
I think
But this guy wants one.
I think you're misconstruing that, though.
Captain, star captain makes
I like it.
makes a contingent of people that are armed to protect his people called like the Oompa Loompas.
Uh-huh.
And then they got like this police force. But I mean, they're over there. But
I don't
the
think
thing
there's
is,
anything wrong with that.
there's not. That's the thing is like, all right, if you truly don't care what anyone does, like you guys have at it. Don't come over in my spot.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think there's
But
anything wrong with that. As long
there's
as
a
you're
lot
not
of-
infringing on my property.
But there's a lot of people that wouldn't. They'd be like, that's not the way to live. That's not it.
Maybe.
You gotta be free. Like I gotta be able to do.
I think you're right with that. I think there would be a lot of those people, but those wouldn't be anarchists. Okay, so an anarchist would be like, look, I don't give a fuck what you do. Just don't try to tell me how to live my life. And also, don't do this. Don't say that I need to pay a due because you have property all around me, that your property's there, your property's there, your property's there, your property's there, and I have to pay dues to you because of what? Because you're protecting me from outside forces? I might pay you to travel through your property, like on the other side, whatever I need to do. But if you're trying to charge me a defense, like, oh, well, no, I'll defend my property. Just don't fuck with me. Like, and if you try to, you know what I'm saying? I think that would be the biggest issue.
I like
is
that time we had Ted on the podcast. He's like, can you imagine trying to get across town, paying everyone? Like, all right, who owns this?
But we do, and I think that I mean, we do. We pay the state, but the deal is that I would think it would be pretty easy. Well, we've already discussed this. We've gone into this. We don't.
I don't think it'd be easy at all.
I don't think it would be easy at first, but I mean, it's like anything else. It's gonna work itself out, and eventually you might have a guy that says, you know what, guys, guess what I do? Guess what I do for a living? I build roads. I want to pay you to build a road on your land. This is what I do. I build roads. I'm just giving you an example. I build roads. I want to pay you to build a road on your land, and I'm going to give you a fee every month, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey guys, this is simple technology now, right? I got a little pass that you can pay X amount of dollars or whatever a month, or however we do a subscription based thing, and you can drive on this road as much as you want, right? As many times as you want, because I built this. I've got it. The landowners are good. I pay them, right? I still collect some margin off of this. And guess what else? It's a secured road. I have my employees on the road, right? These are the rules of the road, though. However, I don't want you fucking driving drunk like a jackass. I mean, if you are and you wreck, you're never going to get a drive on this road again. Steep fucking penalty. I'm not ever going to sign you're not ever going to sign a contract. Never going to give you a subscription again, right? You see what I'm saying? Is eventually it works out. It's not that we have to have this overarching wasteful garbage monster out there to solve our problems for us. I mean, we fucking are capable of it. We did it in the past. I mean, that's the thing is like it's not going to be a utopia by any stretch of the imagination. There'd be fucking murder. There'd be Ponzi schemes. There'd be people dying. The deal is that you would be able to choose
which road you took.
You'd be able to choose. You'd be able to say, look,
There's 3 roads going across town. This guy charges $5. That guy is $5.50. This guy's $7, but gives you a pop on your way across.
fixes your flat tires.
That one gets you like 3/4 of the way, and then you got to hop over on this one guy. He won't let anybody build a road on his land, so you got to pay him $18.
At first, it might be like that.
$18 to him. Then you get back on that road. See, I just figured you'd be paying people all day. Like, for fuck's sakes, man. It's taking me 4 hours to drive through town here because I'm paying people all day long to drive past their, what's it called? Drive past their property. I don't know. It's really, in my head, it's like not even worth trying to figure out because I don't think it'll ever...
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. So you get what I'm saying when I say, do you understand how I wished I could go back to the way of feeling like I feel like I know, like I've seen truth, right? Like I feel like when I look at this and I see nature and I see how nature is perfect, right? And it is. It's fucking perfect. However it works, I don't know how it works, but it works. And then I see like economics, and economics at its basic core principles is perfect because it's us. It's an understanding of us, right? Of human action, of understanding of all choices, irrational and rational, right? But it doesn't matter. That's how we work. The universe made it this way. And so when I see that and I see how much manipulation we use on manipulation, not by intellect, but by manipulation by use of fucking tooth and claw. Use of and I say that, I mean violence, right? The manipulation of that, or the fear of violence to manipulate that side of our choices, to remove our choices. And it's clear, we talk about it on this podcast all the time. Fear and comfort, or fear, or security and comfort always drive us to accept the king, right? I mean, it does. It drives us to accept the king until we can't accept the king anymore. And then what do? We rise up. It's a big blood rebellion. And then we accept the next king.
Who's worse than the first?
Right. I don't know. All right. Let's move on.
We got ode to women?
Yes.
Prostitution charges? Play a commercial real quick. It's getting fucking late fast. Oh, weird.
We started late.
Hi, Eeyore here. If you like the bullshit you've been listening to, be sure to check out Spearhead Transmission on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, TuneIn Radio, and the podcast source. Subscribe to their YouTube channel and watch them weekly for some reason. Also, like and share their Facebook page. Check out their website at spearheadpodcast.com and get all of your Spearhead merchandise there. If you have hate mail, please send it to xspearheadx@yahoo.com. They always appreciate hearing from you. Thank you for your support and enjoy the rest of the fucking show.
Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big. She looks like one of those rap guys' girlfriends.
Probably too fast. I can't get what's going on.
All right. Ode to women. I should have opened this when you were playing that commercial, but we had someone talking shit in the comments. Did you see that? Called us fake gay shitholes here. It's a good one. Glad to have you if you're a listener. Shitholes, everyday term usage.
Who's
now.
Jimbo Jones?
I don't know.
Hey, yo, I want in with the y'all feds. How does this work? Injustices.
The next line.
Got black
fake gay shitholes here.
Is he still here?
I don't know. This is from Reasons.com. A New Jersey man is now on the hook for promoting prostitution after buying multiple gift cards from a CVS pharmacy. All right, Mount Olive Township police were called to the CVS location on Tuesday over suspicious activity, according to a police report. A man later identified as 28-year-old Craig Nikolnichi had repeatedly entered and exited the store and ultimately purchased several gift cards. This was somehow enough to trigger a call to the police. It's not clear from whom, and the visit from Officer Anthony Gardner.
You know what the name Nikolnichi? You'd think he's Russian, but his first name's Craig.
Who are you? Nikolnichi. First name Craig. All right, so when Gardner arrived, Nikolnichi's car was still parked in the CVS parking lot, and he was seated inside. Gardner approached. Do you ever? I hate saying that. Whenever I read police reports or hear police discussing, it drives me nuts with the on his person. And I noticed, the
knife handing.
Yeah. So Nikolnichi's car was still parked in the CVS parking lot, and he was seated inside. Gardner approached Nikolnichi, and as they spoke, the officer observed multiple gift cards on the front seat of the vehicle. The report states. Then Nikolnichi, who has done nothing thus far except purchase several gift cards from CVS and return to his car, allegedly just offered up the fact that he planned to take the gift cards and exchange them directly for sex. Through the course of the investigation, it was determined that Mr. Nikolnichi had purchased the gift cards to pay for the services of an individual for the purpose of engaging in prostitution, states the police report. Nikolnichi was arrested and charged with promoting prostitution and has been released pending an upcoming court date. If you're confused, you're not alone. Not only did the initial reasons for this investigation make little sense, but it's hard to buy someone basically blurting out to a cop, hey, I'm going to take this totally mundane purchase here and use it to engage in illegal activity. People are all sorts of idiots, however, so it's possible that he did precisely this. In any event, the case highlights how thin and arbitrary the line between illegal prostitution and permissible courtship can be. Nikolnichi isn't even accused of having sex or soliciting it, simply purchasing gift cards, which he allegedly planned to exchange for sex. That blows my mind. The cop that arrested him, so this wouldn't be the first time Gardner has
he's a fucking idiot.
Gone
too.
After someone on dubious premises. In 2016, the city settled for $60,000 in a false arrest and excessive force suit stemming from a traffic stop by Gardner in 2012. The driver was stopped for failing to signal a lane change when Gardner said he smelled weed. The driver agreed to and passed a field sobriety test, but did not consent for Gardner to search his car, so Gardner detained him and called for a canine unit. In the interim, another sergeant showed up and approved the driver to use his cell phone to make a call. Gardner didn't like this and expressed it by tackling him to the ground and handcuffing him. The drug dogs found no drugs, but Granice, the driver, was arrested nonetheless, charged with motor vehicle violations and resisting arrest. Can you imagine that? You get pulled over and hey man, can I use your phone? Yeah, sure, hang on. And then the fucking other guy, what? Not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
So that is scary, right? So the guy bought gift cards. He didn't offer them to a woman for sex. He didn't get caught offering them to a woman for sex. He wasn't in an area that women sell sex. He was simply in the parking lot. Yet he's charged with solicitation of prostitution. And not going to point out the fact that if someone wants to accept Apple iTunes gift cards for a blowjob, like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, I mean, who cares if they accept a $50 bill for a blowjob? But the difference is, here's the thing.
I don't see how you can be...
You know what it is? It's because there's no way to tax that transaction.
I think it's all moral. Some kind of moral thing people think they need to do.
You think that's what... I think that's what it's driven by.
Those poor... The poor woman stuck doing that. Like
That's what's told to you.
You shouldn't be paying women to do that. Like,
think about that for a minute, though. It's just like anything else. That's what's told you. It's just that another thing that's an emotional drive. Like it's a political posturing to say, "Oh, those poor, we have to eliminate that sex trade." It's just they, that's that. Yeah, we're forcing those women into accepting a life of misery and pain. And you're like, those fucking women chose that.
It's the oldest. What did I say? It's
The oldest profession in the book.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is that I think it's just like anything else. They can't tax it. So if they can't tax it, they have to figure out a way to sell it to you so that you'll, like, if they came out and said, look, you know what? We can't allow prostitution because we have no way to tax this. The people be like, what? That's ridiculous. Prostitution's okay. It's the oldest profession in the book. But whenever they come out and say, oh, it's against our moral dogma, and the majority believes that, we've got, it's so saddening. Yeah, then that's it, right?
I got a bunch of ads here on this from lame dogs. Do you have that? Dogs with their back legs not working, like we're talking about.
Are you serious? Yeah. What? Where?
Chewy.com. It's listening to us.
Yeah. Well, I have a wiretap device downstairs, but it probably listens upstairs too. I don't know. I don't even see that. All right. So there's a couple things here, right? The ode to women goes to the women that were willing to accept these gift cards for sex. That's just getting it knocked out of the right out of the way. Especially at CVS. Was he buying them like Mike? Was he buying multiple different ones, or was it just like those Visa cards?
I don't know. I just don't understand. Number one,
it's probably Starbucks.
If you're at Walgreens or at CVS, whatever, and someone's buying gift cards, I mean, is that like?
Yeah. Why do you give a fuck?
That guy's buying gift cards. Oh shit! Call the cops.
But we don't know what Craig Nagonici looks like, though. He might be
fucking weirdo,
creep.
To me, it's what I'd be like,
tongue hanging out.
I'm the manager here. Sell that motherfucker as many gift cards as we can.
I would still, even if his fucking tongue was hanging out, look like that wolf on the.
So the other day, I visited a local sporting goods store to buy magazines and
I think you can say the name.
Pistols. Bass Pro Shop, right?
We don't like it. Yeah. Unless you want to sponsor us.
Overpriced shit. You can't. I had a $50 gift
card. Or
card.
allow me to swim in that fish tank.
I had a $50 gift card, and I was like, man, I can't afford anything here with $50. So anyway, I went in there because I was looking online at Magpul Glock magazines, and it said, buy local. And so I clicked on it and said, Bass Pro Shop, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I was like, oh, shit, if they're there, I'll just go buy them in person. I got a gift card there. So I go in and I just grab 4 magazines off the thing because I saw mag. I know what the Magpul emblem looks like. I don't know what in my head. For one, I was in a hurry. And two, for some reason, when I'm in there, I feel like I'm being watched. Like people think I'm stealing shit. I don't know why.
Probably are being watched.
So I grab them. I grab 3 boxes of rounds and then walk out, pay for it. So I've got 4 9mm pistol magazines and 3 boxes of ammunition. And so I put on the counter and this guy walks up and he's like, going to the range today? And I was like,
beat it, dick face.
No. And he's like, huh? And then so I said, I'm switching this and that. I told him, and I was like, this fucking guy is asking me questions, because it's, I guess.
Something, say something.
Yeah, exactly what it was. But I just said, look, man, I'm changing my barrel out. And he's like,
that guy.
He goes, yeah, you might think you might need a different recoil spring. And I said, everything I read online says you don't have to worry about that unless you shoot, so many grain bullets. And he's like, oh, well, yeah. But what's funny is I walked back in there because I walked out with a Springfield M&P magazine too or something. Had to change that out, swapped it out, go, and then you guys all told me that those were shit. So
I didn't know. I just
went back
on them.
An hour later. Fucking went back in, found the Magpul magazines, grabbed them. They only had 3. Went through the circus down there trying to exchange it to where it said amount. Those were cheaper than the ones I bought. So I had a $16 credit that every time I'd stick my card in the machine, it'd go up to $36. It'd be like $16 credit, card in, $36 credit. They couldn't figure out. They ended up just giving me cash. They couldn't figure it out. But yeah, man, that guy was totally like fucking casing my ass because I was buying 3. I mean, what if I just wanted to have 3 rounds or 3 boxes of
fuck off
9mm and wanted to
That's probably his job. He probably works there. He's like, all right.
He does work there.
Oh, it was the guy behind the counter.
No, he's just the guy.
Some dude randomly walked
No,
up.
it was a Bass Pro employee, but he
Oh.
was, I don't know, like he was a
I mean, that's probably his
roving patrol.
job, though, right? His job is to come over and be like,
What do you got there?
okay, what you doing? If you told him to fuck off.
I mean, I just thought he's
Should have got all nervous and shit.
well, it's gonna go shoot up my office, but now that you
Now that you
stopped
stopped me.
I'm just gonna follow the law.
Thanks, buddy.
But I mean, is that the type of shit that happens at CVS? Like,
I guess.
Hey,
Hey, what do you got there?
and a few cards, gonna go buy some sex? I go, what? Oh man, I'm giving them out for fucking gifts. You've walked in and out of here quite a few times. Those are Applebee gift cards. Yeah, I got a
Chili's.
raffle. Yeah,
Chili's.
I got a raffle going on. Go fuck yourself. Well, I already called the cops. Oh shit, I'm arrested for fucking prostitution now. You know what I mean?
You gotta say that in a Russian accent.
Arrested for prostitution. That's a bad one.
He fucked it up. I agree with you about the $50 gift card at Bass Pro. That's like just the tip.
Yeah, so we totally forgot to give a prize at the run and gun. So I was going to give that $50 gift card as a prize, and then I forgot to fucking give it away. Like they were all giving out
They were
all
looking
the
for
stuff.
yours?
No, they're all giving out. And I told Al, I was like, here, take this. I said, otherwise I'm going to forget to give it out. And he's like, just come up there when we're giving them out. So I was like, all right. And then they're giving them out, and I went to get my score sheet. Fucking people are walking away. I was like, oh shit, totally forgot. And then I was like, well, we could give it away in the podcast, but I spent it yesterday, so
Yeah.
on magazines. Almost got arrested, I guess. Possibly.
Yeah.
So I guess the ode to that, or the ode is to the women taking chili gift cards for blowjobs, and then
Go and taking you out
guess
to eat at
it's-
Chili's.
it's good. Yeah. So what? So say that. So say
Yeah.
you met some girl, picked her up on the road, and like, hey, check it out, Chili's. Got $35. You get like a 5-course meal at Chili's for that.
Yeah. Tastes like shit.
You want to go eat? What do I got to do? We got to have sex afterwards. Is that prostitution?
I guess if you say that
You're exchanging
if you
gift
tell
cards
them,
for food
but-
for sex?
Yeah, but if it's
How's that any different than courting
it's no different. Well, you don't like. There was somebody that
Courting.
told me the other day that said that who was this? I don't remember who it was. That they said that they're like, dude, if you're single, he's like, prostitution's the way to go. He's like, you don't have to work for shit. You actually save money. He's like, because you're not buying a whole bunch of other shit. And you can do what you want to do all the time.
I just assume you're going to get fucking warts.
Yeah, something bad's going to happen, I think. But that's what he said. He's like, and I don't think he was single.
Huh.
But that's what he was.
Going to get a leaky horseradish packet.
No good.
Phone keeps going off, and I don't know what is notifying me. My wife's probably in labor right now, texting me, and it's not this.
We're done.
Don't we have one more? The dog. So there's this the second article.
I
Is
think
talking
this
about,
what led me into that was that's right at the end with the dog.
Yeah, so this talks about canines and the police saying and pull you over, like, let me search your vehicle, like
say no,
and then they say, okay, well, I'm gonna
bring a dog
in, and then they say the dog passively
Or
reacted, or that it
I
reacted.
mean, fuck. Do you get to follow the dog around?
No.
And
What
how
I-
do you know what the dog what his
What always
what
gets
his
me is
tell
when they
is,
let
right?
the dog like walk around on the hood and stuff.
Yeah, like-
sharp ass claws. Like, dude, come on, man! Like, fucking scratch my car. Like, were you the kid used to ride his bike down the side with the handlebars or poking out of the side, and just rake the shit out of people's car? No, but that article talks about how there's no real defining point of what a dog alerts on and what it doesn't, and it says that they're predominantly ineffective, or not ineffective, but
it says can be, right? Like, yeah.
false, will react.
False signal or
They said they can also react like if some dude smoked weed and you got your tire changed
by the guy who smoked weed.
Yeah, and he changed your tire, and then you get pulled over and a dog smells it. Like, yeah, the dog's gonna react to that.
Alert. That's what. It's called,
and then your car can get searched. But I remember when we were in the military, we had the military working dogs. We had those training, which I don't know what it was, if it was real drugs or we had drugs. We had drug dogs and we had bomb dogs. And both times on separate occasions, I would see those dogs like fail to find things that I hid on a vehicle. They say hide this in this, and we'll see if you can find it. And it'd walk right past it, and the fucking guy knew where I'd hit it, so he'd be like, "Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, seek," back and forth. Like, dude, he didn't get it. You know, you're fucking cheating at this point. Like, you know where I hit it.
Yeah,
fucking dog doesn't. But and then they'd finally get him to hit on it and be like, "Oh, good boy." And I know it's training, right? But multiple times. So to me, like, if that is the all right, there's some issue here, right?
Yeah.
And then that article would talk about how dogs can be trained to like in that instance, like, all right, every time I come to the front bumper of a car, there's explosive material hidden behind the license plate or whatever. Like, so it's gonna react each time. Like, there's a license plate. Sit down, Which to me, it's you're putting all the. Like, if you're going to be protected by the Constitution, right?
Putting all the authority in the dog?
Yeah, and a dog and an animal. So if you're free from search and seizure.
Fourth Amendment.
Yeah.
Right. Illegal search and seizure.
But yet, it can all be just thrown out the window if this dog reacts in what a guy says acts strangely. The dog was acting strange. He was reacting passively. Like, okay, well, search the vehicle, and
that's what. So when I read this article and then I saw that that guy called for a canine unit, it made me think about it, and so I searched another article on there about it, and I was like, you know what, this is fucking bullshit. The crazy shit is that a Supreme Court is like, you know what, that is a good idea. It's not like it's one dog. It's not like it's just one dog that you can replicate over and over and over, and you know that dog is a perfect dog, that like it's a robot dog that can go and
you love robots.
I'm starting to that Black Mirror show, it makes you hate robots.
I already hate robots,
but anyways, where it's this perfect machine that can sniff out whatever, and then be like, okay, you know what, since we have this machine. Like, that's still fucked up in my head, but it would be more justifiable. But no, we're going to take shit that's been, like a dog that is trained by a man to find something, that is handled by a man that wants to find something.
That's
because
what I mean.
It props up it only gives him more authority, right? It's a joke. Yeah. Funny to me.
Yeah. I somehow got on this robot fails thing, and that one robot that tries to open the door and just falls backwards. It cracks me up, man, for some reason. Like, completely don't know what to do. I'm just going to fall over.
I like the one where the robot talks. Somebody narrates it back. Steve.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember it. It's good.
I like the one that has the it's like a tank with arms on it. It's trying to put ketchup on a hot dog, and it's like just fucking spraying it. And the other one where the one's trying to open the door and it just rips the door handle off and then drives straight through the door. That cracks me up too. So maybe robot antics will be funny
at first until they get it figured out.
Yeah.
But I don't think robot wars start until after they figure that out, right? Like,
no, they can't. They'd lose immediately with this shit that they got going on.
I think it has to start after they realize that they're actually robots, right?
You know, they gotta like master riding a bike and walking. Man, my breath stinks.
It's my breath that stinks.
I'm not gonna get there. It's late.
All right.
All right. So if you like the show, make sure and like and share our Facebook page. What was that guy's name? Jimbo Joe? Jimbo Jones. Glad to have you on the podcast.
We love that.
Fake ass shitholes or whatever. Gay ass shitholes. Fake gay shitholes. Anyway.
It's because we were talking about Oprah.
Yeah. Email us at xspearheadx@yahoo.com. Like and share the Facebook page. And continue in listening. And if you have show ideas, email them. Guest ideas, the same thing. We appreciate all our listeners, and we'll talk to you next week.
Adios, muchachos.
Accessing your mind. Programming started. Thank you for listening to the Spearhead Transmission. We know you enjoyed your experience. Please come again and partake in our ridiculousness. There is so much more to explore. Remember, your mind is yours. You are not part of a collective. You will start to think independently if you seek the truth. Stop buying the lies. Water that tree of liberty, and you will break those chains of mental slavery. You are beautiful and heroic. Until next time, goodbye. We love you.